Hey guys, this is Joe,
This is Josh,
and welcome to Just Cars.
and today we're going to be showing you how to change your cabin and engine filter on a 2018 Chevrolet Camaro SS. Alright, so the reason why we changed the cabin air filter, because this is what's responsible of filtering the air that comes in through your vents. It traps pollen, dust, and smog before you breathe it in. And so if your car smells musty or just it doesn't smell good in there, this is probably the culprit. Alright, so the tools we're going to need for this job is pretty simple. We're just going to need a flathead screwdriver because we are going to need a lot of leverage, as well as this very thin microfiber towel because we're going to be prying against plastic. So let's get started.
Alright, first you want to do, locate the glove box. You want to remove everything that's inside. Then you want to locate this little push tab that has a string attached to it. You want to pull it down, remove it out, and then it's going to slide up. Alright, so you want to get your flathead and your microfiber cloth, and then you want to wrap it around it so you don't scratch the plastic. Then you want to put it in there, line it up, and literally pull to one side while pulling down. Yeah, it's known on the Camaros to be a little rough, so you might have to give it a couple shots. Alright, so now that we lowered the glove box, by the way, these are the tabs that I was talking about that you have to pry against to be able to bring the glove box down. But anyway, once you bring it down, there's going to be this little notch up here. You see where it says down? That's where the cabin air filter is. So there's going to be tabs, one over here, one over here. So you want to press down on them, and then it comes right off. Same on the other side. You want to tab here, tab up top, and then it comes right out. Alright, so some things you want to take note of is on the cover, it says down with an arrow pointing down. And on the air filter, there's also an arrow pointing down, just to show you the direction of the airflow. So you literally cannot mess this up. And I'm telling you right now, this is down is where the air goes. So then you want to grab it, take it out. You want to be careful not to get the dust everywhere.
Alright, so here's our old cabin air filter, and you guys can see why it is important to replace this. It is doing its job. As you can see, all of the dirt is on this side, while the other side is clean. And now taking a look at our new one, this is going to be our new cabin air filter. As you can see, it is spotless on both sides.
Alright, so you want to take note of the airflow. Again, it's pointing down. So before you install it, you want to just do a quick wipe down of all the surfaces in here. Make sure it's clean so that when we close it, you know, just for cleanliness. Alright, so after you wiped everything down, then it's easy as just inserting the air filter in there. And then after that, you want to put the cover back on, making sure the down agrees with what the filter says, where it says down. Again, it just clicks in like that on both sides. Alright, so now that we installed the air filter, the cabin air filter, and the cover, now we're just going to do what we did but in reverse. So what you want to do is you want to find the little tab that we removed earlier with the string. You see it doesn't go very far, so you're going to have to hold it with one hand out of the way, and then you want to bring up the glove box until it clicks in place. And then once you do that, make sure to not let go of it, is you want to slide it in the tab. and then slide it right here so it holds it in place. All right, so now you just want to put everything back in the glove box, close it up, and that is job well done.
All right, so moving on to the engine air filter. This is probably one of the more important filters for us performance car guys. This pretty much is one of the more important parts of your intake system. This is what blocks all the debris that we saw in the cabin air filter, like all the leaves and dust and dirt. It is recommended that you change this about every 12,000 miles, but if you live in a dirtier climate, it's good practice to always replace it before that. Alright, so in terms of the tools you're going to need for the engine air filter job, so first off is going to be the screwdriver. That's going to be required so we can remove the top for the air box. And then after that, once we take the filter out, we're going to use this vacuum. It's not required, but it's recommended to just suck up any loose dirt that could be in the air box. And we just have a handheld vacuum here and just the attachment for it. And then as well some soapy water and some shop towels to just help clean up all that dust.
All right, so step one, you want to pop the hood. All right, step two, you want to locate your air box. And ours happen to be right over here. Okay, so to remove this air filter cover, there's 5 screws that you want to remove. So let's go ahead and remove those. So now that you removed all 5 screws, you want to put them somewhere safe, just like this magnetic plate. Okay, so now all the screws are off, so you can gently move the air box cover out of the way. Lift up the filter, and then bring it out, just like that.
Alright, so here's our old engine filter, and you can see it is full of debris, little pieces of leaves, bugs, all of the above. And if it wasn't for this, all of this would have gone into your engine. And so this is why we replace it every 12,000 miles, so we can have a clean start and your engine can breathe better.
But before we install the new filter, we want to make sure it's clean in there. So we're going to start by just removing whatever we can by hand, stuff that's not going to be able to get sucked into the vacuum. And then you want to get your vacuum and just clean it in there. All right, so now that it's clean in there, you can install your new engine filter. This only goes in one way, but if yours is a square or something, just know that the beveled side or the gasket side goes on the top. So you want to simply insert it, make sure it's sitting flush, and then you want to put the cover back on. So now we're just going to reverse what we did. So we're just going to put the screws back in, making sure not to drop them. And this is the last step. It's not required, but it's just something that we do. It's just to clean our area once we're done. This is good maintenance. And that is job well done. That is how you do it. And this is how you change both air filters on your 2018 Chevrolet Camaro SS.